ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon to everybody. Good evening to you, wherever you are. This is J. Randy. Welcome to the evening broadcast. And as you can see the topic there, please share the video, guys. Share the video. All right, guys, share the video. Share the video. Share the video. All right, so let's hit it.
Morning or good afternoon to all, depending on where you're joining us from today. My name is Antoinette Saye. I'm a Deputy Managing Director at the International Monetary Fund. I am truly very pleased to welcome you to a discussion of a subject that has always been critical for stability and growth, but which merits even higher priority today, given our environment of a prolonged pandemic, slowing economic growth, rising inflation and debt levels across our member countries, and reduced policy space. And this topic is governance. If you want to watch the event in Portuguese, please do so on the event web page where you can switch the language. So I hope everybody is able to connect properly. So good governance, accountability, and transparency have certainly been high on our agenda at the fund for some time. And I'm delighted to welcome today a distinguished panel of speakers that will share their insights on these topics. They are Dr. Olavo Correa, Vice Prime Minister and Minister of Finance of Cabo Verde, Linda Ofori Kwafo, Executive Director, Ghana Integrity Initiative, Chris Marolang, Global Advisor and SADC Executive Director of Good Governance, Africa, and Emmanuel Jima Boadi, Co-founder and Board Chair, Afrobarometer. So I'll first open with some introductory remarks. As the world dealt with challenges posed by COVID-19 and more recently by the war in Ukraine, we've seen that countries that have strong economic institutions have been able to mount more effective responses to these challenges. And that is true across any level of development. It is clear that institutional strength and accountability will also prove instrumental in how effectively countries recovered from these challenges and build more resilient economies going forward. Today, we launch a book on good governance in sub-Saharan Africa. It was edited by my colleagues Monique Newiak, Alex Segura Obiago, Abdul Aziz Wan, and others across the fund. As the book makes clear, sub-Saharan Africa has made tremendous progress in recent years in improving the standards of living of its citizens. But millions continue to face extremely difficult conditions, living in poverty and without access to sufficient public services, especially healthcare and education. And these challenges clearly intensified in recent years, given unequal access to vaccines and limited policy space. And policy challenges will become even more complex as governments contend with the effects of climate change and digitalization. So a critical element to managing these challenges and leveraging the opportunities posed by digitalization, as well as by the demographic dividend that Africa offers, is good governance and transparency in public institutions. At the same time, steadfast leadership from African policymakers will be pivotal to ensure that public resources are well used and contribute to shared and lasting prosperity. These interlinkages are also the topic of this book. How can sub-Saharan Africa reap the dividends of good governance? So with that, let me now turn to our panelists for our discussion. All panelists have made important contributions in the areas of good governance and transparency, either as senior policymakers and or as academics, researchers, members of civil society. And we at the IMF very much value our ongoing dialogue with governments and civil society about how to improve governance and transparency. And we have a new framework was approved by our board of executive directors in 2018 to discuss these issues. So with this context.
All right, guys. So let me say good afternoon, good evening to you. This is Jay Randy here. Thank you so much for the opportunity. The lady you just watched is your own sister from Liberia. Yes. If I ever told you that I have few people that I respect, she is one of those that I highly respect. Why? Because she ain't give a damn about what happened in Liberia over there as long as in the right, in the wrong. I mean, it's not in the right interest of the Liberian people. Dr. Anthony Syed was the first finance minister. That lady you just saw, she was the first finance minister during the Ellen first year administration. She differed with Ellen, and she and Ellen parted ways. She's now at the IMF, and she's helping Sahara Africa in providing resources, information, research for good governance. Mr. Weah has been in office, never contacted that woman. Whether it will be Weah in his second term or coming in his second term, I think when it comes to financial resources, that lady can provide direction in how to create good governance. They had just published a book called Good Governance in Sub-Saharan Africa. I will encourage everyone. You don't have to be a financial expert. She's part of that book collection. I will encourage every one of you guys. I'm not getting fasting from that book, but I think knowledge is power. If you purchase that book, you're going to empower yourself with knowledge, and you're going to know the challenges that are happening in Africa and not excluding Liberia. So welcome to the show again, guys. This is the intellectual platform that we don't come here to gossip. We are more about the current issue in the country, the challenges, and what are the systemic way that we should be able to solve the problem in our country. Every institution, while it is true that they are separate, they are all interdependent. And in order to meet the needs of the people in the community, they all need to work together by assessing the needs and wants of the people and developing strategic programs collectively but independently to help move our country forward. We are 200 years old since 1822. We will be 175 years old this July. We have been unable to make progress because we have never managed to educate our people. We have never managed to challenge ourselves. Countries that are 60 years old are far beyond where we are because they, in many instances, have defined their destiny, have looked at the challenges they have, and they have made progress. I have a picture to show you guys. This picture here was put up by me in 2017 after this election. I'm going to put a picture up for you guys, and I want you guys to take a good look at it. All right? I'm going to put a picture up for you guys because that's what we're going to focus on here. So in 2017, this is what I put up here. There you go. See the picture there, guys? This is what I wrote.
This, guys. This was written and captured in 2017. And it's coming back now.
Are you guys hearing me over there anyway? Let me see whether you guys can hear me. I was some telling me say no sound. Are you guys hearing me? Let me see it. Are you guys hearing me? Let me see whether you guys can hear me. Oh, okay. You guys can hear me. Yes. Good, 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 good. Are you guys hearing me? Let me see it. All right. I'm going to. Are you guys hearing me? Okay. Oh, okay. You guys. I'm going to put my speaker in so you guys can hear me now. Let me put a speaker in. Let me put a mic in. I hope you guys can hear me when I put a mic in. So I'm going to put the mic in here. and let's see whether you guys will be able to hear me once I put a mic in here, because the mic is supposed to help me. So, so hold on there, Eric. Keep your guy on. Let me know if you can still hear me. Are you guys still hearing me? I gotta keep asking that question because I want to make sure you guys can hear me. Are you guys hearing me? All right, let me see here. Let me put this in here. All right, preferences. Let's come here. All right, okay. Let me check my phone here. Are you guys still hearing me? Let me see. Are you guys still hearing me? All right, everything very well. Are you guys still hearing me? Oh yeah, okay. Thank you. Thank you guys. Thank you. Thank you. Are you guys still hearing me? Thank you. Thank you. It's all about quality purpose. Yes. All right. So thanks to everyone who acknowledged hearing me here. All right. So guys, let me do this here. Let me bring myself on here. I gotta bring myself on. All right. So let me do this. And you should be able to see me. And let me do this. And then you should be able to see me. And also too, let me do this because I want to widen the screen here a little bit. Maybe when I do it like this, the screen will get wide. Yes. So I want you to take a good look at this, right? So in 2017, all right, in 2017, at the end of October, I managed to capture this thing here. All right. I managed to capture this thing. This actually is something that I use the Photoshop software to put in place. So this is what I envision from the lawmakers and the people of Liberia. So in October of 2011, that general election, there were new lawmakers and old lawmakers that have few time left on their tenure. So usually in 2017, this bridge between the people of Liberia to your right hand side and the national legislatures, member of the House and the Senate, all right, both of them, they will always bring the bridge down. As you can see, I see here in 2023, they will bring the bridge down. And what do they want from these people? They want the people to vote for them. They will bring the bridge down. So they will bring the bridge down and they will come from the House and then they will come to the people. So at the end of 2017 election, this is what I capture here. Looking at the top right here, the top left corner where you got 0142. This is what I wrote here. Thanks for your vote, suckers. Get close till 2023. Yes, that's what I wrote. And this was in 2017. And then on the speaker here, I wrote here, after October, no more money for y'all. Call your people in America. Isn't that true? And then the people of Liberia and here. As silly as you think I may be, that's up to your own interpretation. Yes, that's up to your own interpretation. But I will tell you that what you are looking at here is actually what is happening in our community. So let me remove this off the screen so that we can get into some details here. All right. Let me remove it off the screen. All right. All right. So that was written in 2017. Some of you guys that never knew me then, maybe by God's grace, next year election, when it's over, you will get to know, because everything that I'll be capturing, I'll be posting it. So another 6 years after, those of you that follow me, you will get to know me. I know these Liberian people damn well, and I know nothing will come out of it. All right? Absolutely nothing. And that's why I'm pushing for this election to be about the issue. Because what you just saw, since the one in 2017, why now you finding government officials just going in all the community now and just doing good now? People here giving donation, people here giving back arrest, people giving this, because they are now put the gate down. They're coming out to the community. They're coming to the community. They're coming to the community now. And when they get re-elected, it'll be what? 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. That gig will close and it will tell the people, say, see you in 2029. But you know who losing in the process? The people of Liberia that got nowhere to turn, nowhere to go. They are the one losing. So again, we have to be able to use our time to continue to what? Help our people understand the reason to vote. It should be about the issue. As you look at the election in Lofa County, what are you seeing? Are they talking about the issue? If the people are not talking about the issue, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to put people in office for 9 years that will screw things up. They will screw things up. Now, let's start with the first thing here. Now, how many of you guys listen to Mr. Cummings? And I want to see yes. When Mr. Cummings' case at the city court got dismissed, how many of you guys listen to Mr. Cummings? How many of you guys listen to Mr. Cummings? I need answer. When Mr. Cummings got exonerated, how many of you guys listen to Mr. Cummings? And what did he say in regards to the CPP? How much do you also know about the CPP itself, the broadcast CPP? So let me put this into context. All right. Mr. Cummings informed you and I that the CPP will move on, right? Now, one thing he said. Second thing, Mr. Cummings also said the CPP will not send any candidate to Lofa, right? Yes. Did you hear he say that? Mr. Cummings said the CPP will not put forward or field any candidate in the 2022, in the Lofa election, right? Lofa County Senatorial by election, special election, however they may call it, right? You will agree with me on that. That he did say that. Now, there's something I want to play for you guys here. There is a gentleman going around, but before I even play this, I want to ask everyone this sincere question, including member of the ANC party and supporter as well. This guy they call Yeke Koluba, and I need answers from the honest. Let me grab my phone right here. I need answer from the honest. How they call it? I need answer from the honest ANC people. Yes. I need answer from the honest ANC people. I want you to tell us here which political camp Yeke Koluba belongs to. I want to see answer. Which political camp Yeke Koluba belongs to? Somebody please help me. Throw your answer out there. I'm going to wait. I am going to wait. Which political camp Yeke Koluba belongs to? If I see CPP Cummings, then I know you're talking about Cummings. So which political camp Mr. Koluba belongs to? I want to see answer. I want to see answer. Which political camp? What's up, Vivian? I see you right here. All right. And I see Mayor Johnson here too. All right. So, guys, come on, give me answer. I'm looking here. Give me answer. Which political camp? Some people say not aware. Okay. I want to see answer. This guy is in between. All right. Which political can he belongs to? CPP? The CPP? Okay. Somebody said the CPP. Okay. Somebody said CPP. Is that Arizona CPP? Is that Arizona CPP or Boca CPP? I need answer, guys. You help me up. I need answer. Is C for Arizona CPP? Is C for Arizona CPP? JMB Unity Party. All right. Siddiqui said JMB Unity Party. All right. Now we're getting somewhere now. Adequate. Siddiqui said JMB Unity Party. Now, ANC folks, do you think, ANC folks, do you agree with City Geek? City Geeks, I mean, Mr. Geek, Geeks, I mean, Gates. City Gates is saying Yeke Koluba belong to JMB. Is that true? Is that true? Thomas Awaji, I differ with you. Thomas Awaji, I differ with you. I differ with you, Thomas Awaji. There is still a CPP. All right. Yvette C4 is saying he doesn't belong to ANC CPP. What's up, Moyu? So, do you guys agree that Arizona Cummings still maintain the CPP, right? That include the ANC, the Liberty Party, right? Let's agree. It still stands. There's nothing that, and erase that. Yes, there's nothing that erase that. All right? There's nothing that erase that. So now, let me ask you guys, the Cummings CPP, does Yeke Koluba belong to the Cummings CPP? I'm going to start looking at answers now. Does Yeke Koluba belong to the Cummings CPP? This is a question here for the CPP folks. So yes, CPP folks, please help me answer the question. CPP folks, please help me answer this question. I'm looking for answer. I'm waiting for the answer. Hurry up, guys. I got a tip to show here because the reason I'm asking you the question, you will get your answer shortly. But I just want to make sure that you got Yeke, he said, does not know. Solomon now says Yeke, he said, doesn't even know where he belongs. I tend to agree with him. Solomon now, I tend to agree with you. Yes. You Montreal, how you doing? Solomon now, I tend to agree with you. But I want Daha ANC people to please answer. All right, you better say yes, ANC CPP. Oh, so okay, all right. So guys, we're getting somewhere here. So my sister Yvette Sifos, I hope I'm pronouncing that name right. She is saying that Yeke Koluba belongs to the common CPP. All right. Yeke Koluba belongs to the common CPP. Is there any objection to that? You Montreal, I know you here representing the ANC and ANC / CPP. I am great. Arrived in Chicago. Thank you. So you're in Chicago now. Thank you very much. You're in Chicago. That's good. Make sure you send me some photos. Make sure you send me some photo. All right, just send me some photo and share the video here with your friends in Chicago. All right, please. So again, Yeke Koluba, there are some who are saying that Yeke Koluba is with the CPP of Mr. / Alexander Cummings. Yes. Thank you, Jumoncho. Some are saying that Yeke Koluba belong to the ANC / CPP. Let me see what Mia Johnson wrote here. Yeke Koluba said he is an ANC member, but in reality, he has a free radical in opinion. Okay. So, with that being said, let me bring this little video here. I'm not going to play in its entirety. I just want you to listen to what Yeke going to say and the question I ask you guys. We'll discuss that and then we'll go into another thing too, right? All right. So let's bring the video up now. All right. All right. I'm going to move that music faster because I don't want Facebook to. So this credit go to the 50/50 talk show. All right. So the video, all right, it's being sourced out of the 50/50 show. So I'm going to give them that credit. All right. What I want us to look at here is what Yeke Koluba, I want us to watch is what Yeke Koluba is about to say here. All right. So I want you to go into this clip knowing that Mr. Cummings said the CPP will participate, knowing that Joseph Boyka of the Unity Party, the ALP of Mr. Ure, and half of the Liberty Party, they all left the CPP. Standing with the CPP right now is the ANC and part of the Liberty Party. And also, Mr. Cummings said he will not, that is the ANC, will not fee any candidate in the local election. The reason Mr. Boga then left, and the reason they want to quote, because the ANC had a clause in there that said you cannot fee a candidate if you leave. Boga decided to leave. That means that when he left, he is no longer CPP but the Unity Party, right? So now, with that being said, I want us to listen to Yeke Koluba here. All right, let's listen to Koluba. Let's see where I can fact track this. Okay, let's play this now.
Why does Honorable Yeke Koluba, representative of District Number 10 of Masurado County, know about the usage of the famous row phone? What is he so angry, or is he just pretending to be Pontius Pilate or Honorable Mr. Clean Lawmaker when in fact the Honorable House of Representatives gives his approval to the usage of the phone? Special studio guest, Honorable Yeke Koluba, representative of District Number 10 of Masurado County. By 11 o'clock, our lines will be open, so you call me on those numbers on 0777 107. You'll be live from 5050 on Sky 107. Better stay, call me on 0777 221 223. You'll be live on 5050. Those numbers are pinned on our Facebook page, Sky Communications, Liberia. Of course, my name is Steve Max. I'm the only grandson of my grandfather. And 50,
all right, my man, say what I think, get to the point.
I'll be back right after the theme song.
All right. We don't want to change song.
It's at the intersection of Broad Uptown Garage Head Office.
Let's try to speed it up, guys.
Of Mane, the President of the Republic of Liberia. LEPA graduates over 300 students at
God, let's move on.
Indian embassies. Group seeks to pre-docellum does necessarily mean to be. Those people didn't take seats.
Okay.
House of Representatives, their approval for the use of the wrong phone is making noise. Is it because Yeke wants to be Pontius Pilate, or they ain't get to a number yet? We have invited him to throw light on that. What the noise is all about. Good.
So, Mr. Yeke is about to speak now, guys. Mr. Yeke, in the first 1 minute of the show, Mr. Yeke is about to say something. And I want you to pay close attention because the questions that I ask, the comment I made is going to create some little friction. And ANC people, you need to answer this question here. And I think you can share the information with Mr. Cummings as well. So let's go to that. All right? Let's go to that.
Good morning, my
It's a pleasure being here this morning again on your show. I want to say good morning to the people of District Number 10 and the people of Liberia. I'll be leaving for Lofa County tomorrow.
What are you going for?
I'm going to
You're
campaign.
not voting.
I'm going to campaign for the CPP candidate.
What CPP candidate?
The CPP candidate.
Those CPP candidates didn't take seats.
As far as
You're
I'm
wasting your
concerned,
time.
there
If you
is
want to
CPP.
go home and see your old people.
As far as-
There's nothing called CDC, CPP in Lofa. There's none.
As far as I'm concerned, there is CPP. Look,
All right, guys. So let's hold it there. Let's hold it there. It's time for us to break things down here, right? Let's hold it there. All right. You heard it, man. And this is where the question is coming from. Yeke Koluba is saying he's going to Lofa County to help with a CPP candidate. And as Tima is saying, I'm going to say the same thing. Which CPP candidate is he talking about? Which CPP candidate is he talking about? Maybe you didn't catch it again. Let's go back again. Let's go back again. Let's roll the tape. It will be quiet for a while because that's how it was recorded.
it's a pleasure being here this morning again on your show. I want to say good morning to the people of District Number 10 and the people of Liberia. I'll be leaving for Lofa County tomorrow.
What are you going for?
I'm going to
You're
campaign.
not voting.
I'm going to campaign for the CPP candidate.
Okay, so now, guys, come on here. All right, let's face the fact here. Who is he going? Who is he supporting? Because Boca left the CPP because they wanted to feed their own candidate, right? So Boca is not part of the CPP because the CPP said if you're leaving, you cannot feed a candidate while you are part of the CPP. You can go independent and leave your party name in the CPP. But that did not end according to how the CPP structured their document, right? So when Boca left with Ure and Numbly, they all went as independent, no longer CPP. So, oh, you want to say, yeah, I share the show. I am at the meet and greet right now. All right. I will watch the show later. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Good night. Thank you, Jumoncho. Enjoy yourself. So, guys, when Yeke Koluba making the kind of remarks, should we ask the ANC / Liberty Party, that is the remnant of the CPP, or should we just look at Yeke Koluba's mental state of mind? The reason I'm asking this question, Mr. Cummings, I think it was on June 9th, came out and thanked everyone, including partisans of the ANC supporter and all Liberians, and said that the CPP will participate in the election next year. However, he also said the CPP will not field any candidate in Lofa County. With that being said, where is Yeke Koluba coming from to tell Mr. Max on his show that he is going to go to Lofa County to support a CPP candidate? While it is true that we're supposed to be focused on the issue, we have a problem here. So we will hold the issue that I'm talking about, because a man with a kind of mindset is going to defeat the issue that I'm supposed to help Liberians focus on, because he's saying things as a lawmaker that is throwing confusion. This time around, it's not monkey wrench. He is throwing confusion in the process. There isn't any CPP candidate in Lofa County. From what I heard from Mr. Cummings, from what the Supreme Court and the local court, including the document that the CPP put together, it is in no way behind, or Boca is no way or in no way obligated to that CPP document. So when Yeke Koluba says he's going to Lofa County to support a CPP candidate, is he in his right state of mind? What can we ask the CPP now? My question to Mr. Cummings is this. Mr. Cummings, do you have any CPP candidate that is contesting in the local election? Please let us know. Please let us know. Because I believe there are two independent candidates. And the two independent candidates, I don't think they are from the ANC. Because the ANC is still embedded within the CPP, right? So I think that will be crossed out. It is not a possibility. It should not be considered as part of solving the problem or seeking for answer. But what I want us to focus on tonight is why Yeke Koluba is saying CPP standard bearer, in person of Mr. Cummings, said on June the 9th that CPP will not field candidate in Lofa County. So Yeke Koluba, and that is why I was asking the question, does Yeke Koluba belong to the ANC? If the answer is yes, and it comes from bona fide member of the ANC, then Yeke Koluba saying that he is going to Lofa County to support a CPP candidate, bring into question if and only if ANC says CPP, I mean Yeke Koluba is part of CPP. If the ANC high horse or high horses can say yes, Yeke Koluba is a registered bona fide member of the CPP, and you know that the CPP is not going to field candidate out there, then why is Yeke Koluba making such a remark? I would like to know. I would like to know. Because Mr. Cummings has said it straight. ANC / Liberty Party together will not field a candidate in Lofa County. So if Yeke Koluba come out and say, oh, CPP is going to put a candidate in there, I want for Mr. Cummings and the ANC top dog to clarify what Yeke Koluba is saying. The reason I'm saying that is for transparency. It's for transparency. Let's continue listening to him here. I think I said enough on that.
Who's CPP candidate?
The CPP candidate.
Those CPP candidates didn't take seats.
As far as
You're
I'm
wasting your
concerned,
time.
there
If you
is
want to
CPP.
go home and see your old people.
As far as-
There's nothing called CDC, CPP in Lofa. There's none.
As far as I'm concerned, there is CPP. Look, this is something that the Liberian people got interest in. How can Liberia be liberated? Liberia can be liberated through the CPP. And CPP, there will be CPP, and there is CPP.
CPP is broken.
All right. So, ANC, I would say this here, and I'm only speaking for myself. And the very Yeke Koluba man, he's the one that always say, I'm speaking for myself. Every one of you guys listen to me here tonight, I need clarification from this answer that I'm going to ask. I'm just one person. I am a very insignificant figure. But as a Liberian and as a human, it is my constitutional right, it is my God-given right to ask the question here and make the comment. I'm only speaking for myself. And this is going directly to the ANC people. Mr. Cummings said that CPP will not field any candidate in Lofa County. And as you listen to T-Max, he repeated that if not once, twice, to who? To Yeke Koluba. Telling Yeke Koluba there isn't any CPP candidate in Lofa County. That means Mr. T-Max clearly understood Mr. Cummings' comments or statement on that day that CPP will not feed any candidate. But Yeke is defending his position that he is going to Lofa to to support a CPP candidate. Now, here is what I have to say. Those who are closer to Mr. Cummings, I need clarity. I'm only speaking for myself. I don't care about other people. I'm speaking for myself. Mr. Cummings need to come out, or anyone who is on Cummings' team need to come out and tell the Liberian people whether there is a CPP candidate. That's one clarity. Second clarity, whether Yeke Koluba is speaking on behalf of CPP. All we need is that clarity. Because you know why? I am seeing something that I don't understand, and I don't want to get involved. Many people will say, oh, Jerry needed to flip-flop, let it flip-flop. No, I do not flip-flop. I see things like this, but when I see things going around here like this, then I have to stop to watch. A CPP that is under the leadership of Mr. Cummings can come out and say, look, whatever Yeke Koluba is saying or said on the T-Mac show, he is speaking for himself and not for the CPP. I am straight. I am straight. When Yeke Koluba is talking out there, he's on his own. But if Mr. Cummings and the CPP keep quiet and Yeke going over there, then something sinister is wrong. And the level of trust and transparency is starting to overshadow. And this is where I would differ with Mr. Cummings. Because I have suffered the many double dealing under the weird government that I supported. And the last thing I want to see is lack of transparency. Again, I'm speaking for myself. Again, I have learned a great deal of lesson from the institution I support. And lastly, I'm just a one person, but I live by a principle. If Mr. Cummings and the CPP are saying or have said there will be no candidate, if Yeke Koluba come out and start using the CPP name in a false and deceptive manner, is incumbent upon the ANC that just came from court, the CPP that just came from court, and say, hey, don't spoil our name out there. The ANC need to come out, the CPP need to come out, of the CPP or Alexander Cummings need to come out and say, why Yeke Koluba is saying out there is none of our business. It's not our business. I just want to make this clear. If I don't get that answer, I would tell you guys, it will be difficult for me to trust the ANC people because it looks like something is not right. So then, why move George Weah when something is not right? Why talk about boycott when something is not right? Come on, ANC people. I don't know what other people are talking about this thing, but these tiny things are things that I take to be bigger. It may be tiny to some of you guys, but to me, it's bigger. If we want to write George Weah off, then we should start writing the right now. Write off the wrong and begin to write the right in place. That's me. That's me. I'm only speaking for myself. I'm nobody, but this is my platform. This is my teaching moment, and I want you guys to understand. So I'm a little bit concerned, but very, very concerned about Yeke Koluba's statement. It is not serving the purpose of transparency. There may be a political commitment from a politician or a government to be able to provide transparent information and process. So I'm calling on the ANC high ups to please tell the Liberian people about what Yeke Koluba said on Tima Charate show, and that was on the 21st of June. Does the CPP of Arizona County have a candidate in Lofa County that is supposed or that is contesting in that election? If it's not true, let them let us know so that we cannot be confused in the process. Because it's possible that Yeke Koluba may have a problem and he's catching help with that problem. Now, let's go to more of the interview. All right? Let's listen to more of the interview here, guys. Let's listen to more of it.
I'm from the ANC. I'm going to Lofa County to campaign for the CPP candidate.
But there's none there, there's none.
Now, what you think?
That's what it is.
No, that's how
There
it
is none.
Look.
You got Unity Party that walk out of the CPP. Unity Party walk out of the CPP. Maybe you are sleeping. They walk out of the CPP. RJMB, my old man.
Very good. So can I come in now? Look, have you seen the man and his wife go to the court and divorce and later come back together? Can I make reference? Can I just make reference? Can I set an example? Let's take for example, when our president was playing football, he had all the 80s, the 100 millions. When he got very broke, it was alleged that club will divorce him. When LeBron,
you can't prove it.
look, when LeBron gave him the authority, he said, "Your thank you, yeah." Well, when Club Weir came back, they married again. So the same can happen to the CPP.
Wow.
Nobody.
So, guys, if Yeke Koluba is making the theory here, I'm getting very concerned about this, about Mr. Cummings. I'm getting very concerned about Mr. Cummings. This needs to be cleared up. You know what the people always say? It's better to be with the devil you know than the angel you are not seeing. But I'm not going to be with the devil that I know. I'm not going to be with the devil that I know. Something is not right here. This information Yeke Koluba is spilling out here, it is very concerning. He made a very good revelation. Remember when George Weah was in Liberia by himself, Cloud Weah was not seen around. We don't know, but we can speculate. Remember the song that I played the last time? Whatever you do, give woman money, give woman money. The moment Mr. Weah became president, Cloud Weah came back because the man controlled the natural resources of the country, right? Yeke Koluba is saying something here. If we go to second round, is Boka going to support Cummings? Or Cummings going to support Boka after what they have shown to the Liberian people? You need to think about this, folks. I know there are some of you guys who are very die-hard CPP/Liberty Party in this coming camp. All I am asking for is clarity. All I'm asking for is clarity, because Yeke Koluba, why it is true that people think he got mental problem, Yeke Koluba has said something. Yeke Koluba said, number one, he had a gun in his car when they wanted to go protest, but there was no gun. Yeke Koluba said he helped Costa to take him through the border in a box. Now the Yeke Koluba is coming back saying something here. I don't want to be caught up in a political crossfire that will put me in a very dangerous situation. I don't want to be part of that. I hope those who are attending the Cummings program in Illinois, especially particularly in Chicago, I hope Cummings can look at what this guy is saying and be able to put out a press statement, whether it's by Facebook. Because what the guy is saying here is very, very confusing and very dangerous. People have seen that Boka and Cummings went face to face. Some ANC believe that it was not the right thing to do. So Mr. Cummings should be the one to come out here. If I ever get the opportunity to meet Mr. Cummings, I'm going to ask Mr. Cummings myself. Like I said, I'm one person, but I'm guided by principle. If the both of them know what they're doing, they're playing games, let them let us know. Because again, Liberian people, they think should be about the issue. It should be about the issue. It should be about the issue. We all have to be very mindful not to be play or get play again. Today we see Emmanuel Shaw, who never campaigned for George Weah. Today we see Archibald Bonner, who never campaigned for George Weah. Today we see Charles Bray, who never campaigned for George Weah. But they are in that government enjoying. What will be the surprise in this coming election from these people? What will be the surprise? What would be the surprise? And for every time I say, like I said, we as engineers, we monitor the process. We monitor things. We monitor things. Anything continue to go straight at this, we'll not stop it. But when it dip small, we have to stop it to find out why it's dipping. And that's how I was trained. I don't take advice and just act upon it. I suck in data, I watch. Because what I would like to find out is things that I will find out for myself. Experience is a teacher. The reason I don't trust CDC, because I work with them in the past, I know them. The reason I'm trying to ask this question here now is because I want to know what Cummings stand. And there's nothing wrong. There are some ANC people who believe that Cummings and Boka will not see eye to eye. But from what Yeke Koluba is saying, it is a concern. But do you think somebody will ask this question then? No. They're not going to ask this question. They're not going to ask this question. This is what I always say at the end of the day, only 2065 will be a better country. We all got to die. We all got to die. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news. We all got to die. We are not sincere to ourselves. We are not sincere to ourselves before I even say the Liberian people. But all of that can be tossed under the bed when we get to hear the truth. All right? From Mr. Cummings. So let's listen to Yeke again. Let's listen to Yeke, folks. Let's listen to him.
Die in the process. When we reach a point where, God forbid, the CPP will have to split and go apart, we will have an understanding where Ambassador Boakai will not discuss Ambassador Cummings. Ambassador Cummings will not discuss Ambassador Ure. Ambassador Ure will not discuss our sister-in-law, Yombli Kanga. You know why we will do that? It's because there will be second round. What can we do in the second round? Let's take, for example, Tima here, you're causing Zankume Hodi. Then Joseph Boakai go for second round, and you from the Unity Party. How do you convince the ANC people? Will you have the face to go to them? So we have to get to an understanding. I'm saying, God forbid, I know there is CPP that I'm going to Lofa for. I'm going to Lofa for 1 week, and those guys are in Lofa.
So then, if what Yeke Koluba is saying here, all right? So then, what was the purpose of wasting the taxpayer money? If they knew that there was going to be, or there might be a second round, so then why Ure got up and took Cummings to court and created that hard feelings? Let's just discuss the thing based on what Yeke Koluba has said. What are the ANC people here tonight? I really want to see them. What are the ANC people here? Tiola, do you think that thing makes sense? My sister Tiola Gibson, do you think that thing makes sense? People always say that George Weah playing double standard game, George Weah doing this. Well, many times Mr. Weah doesn't come out to provide clarity. He doesn't speak on issue, whether it's alleged, deliberate, intentional. He doesn't speak on it. And I think the Liberian people are fed up with that. But what I think the opposition need to start to practice is to be very clear. I'm only asking questions. And like I said, prior to this video, I asked whether Yeke Koluba belongs to the CPP of Alexander Cummings. Some say yes, some say no. Now I'm asking the question whether whatever Yeke Koluba has said so far, that there is a CPP candidate that he's going to support in Lofa County. But Mr. Cummings has said there is no CPP candidate. So whether Yeke Koluba belongs to Cummings CPP is true or not, whatever Yeke said on T-Mac show that we're repeating here, I think for the sake of transparency, for the sake of trying to be the role model of things that Mr. Weir is not doing, I think Mr. Cummings needs to come out here and make sure that the transparency, that we can't keep doing the same thing over and over. He needs to come out and tell the Liberian people what Mr. Yeke Koluba is saying, whether it aligns with him or it doesn't align with him. Kind of remind me of Jeremiah Wright. When Jeremiah Wright was going around and trying to be very radical, using Obama as someone that he knew, Obama flew and came to Philadelphia, and said that he can no longer take what Jeremiah Wright is doing, and he let Jeremiah Wright go. Because Mr. Obama was trying to be very clear and balanced. T-Max, who is the host of that show, said to Yeke Koluba many times, there is no CPP candidate in Lofa County. Boca left, Boca is not part of the CPP. So I'm saying that I understand, and many of you guys understand here. The only person that can break the information here for us to know what is happening is Mr. Cummings himself. And that is to come out here and tell the Liberian people that what Yeke is saying, it is not a saying of the ANC. That's all I'm saying here. Because think about Yeke Koluba going out there. It's like somebody using your credit card. It's like somebody using your name to commit crime, to send out misinformation, right? And we just came from the issue of people trying to lie on Cummings. But if Yeke Koluba is going out there and misrepresenting the CPP of Mr. Cummings, the same character that Mr. Cummings is talking about, which we all respect here, and with all due respect to Mr. Cummings, I think he needs to come here and clear this thing out. I hope you guys understand what I'm saying here. All right, I'm just joining. What are you talking about? Well, Toyota, you were here earlier, but I don't know where you went. There is no CPP candidate up in Lofa election. All these yama Facebook thing are not going to help our candidate. We need to focus on supporting the organization on the ground. Mr. Cummings. So, Member Harris, you signed a CDC. You signed a CDC. There is a substance that in Mr. Yeke Koluba comment that need to be x-ray. You can't just walk away like that. You can't just cover it like that. It need to be x-ray. It need to be x-ray. What Yeke Koluba is saying here is very, very funny. Tiola, you still here? The Cummings and the LP have already said that. All right. So, Tiola, let me ask you the question. Tiola Gibson, let me ask you the question here. Is Yeke Koluba member of the ANC? Does Yeke Koluba belong to the ANC? Is he member of the ANC / the CPP? This question is going to Tiola first, because many of you guys have answered that question. So, Tiola, I'm asking, as far as I'm concerned, he is. All right. Since you say he is, let me hold that down and go back to the recording, all right? Let's go back to the recording, my sister. Let's go back. Now this time around, I want for you to pay attention here. All right. So, Sister Yoda, this thing, I'm taking it back for you. So I want you to listen to what Yeke Koluba is about to say. Now that you said he is, all right. So, as far as you are concerned, you say he is, right? That means whatever you support is what Mr. Yeke Koluba support, I will assume. All right. So let's listen to him here. All right. Let's listen to him here.
Or they ain't get to a number yet. We have invited him to throw light on that. What the noise is all about. Good morning, my
You're going to go quiet a little bit. It will come up.
It's a pleasure being here this morning again on your show. I want to say good morning to the people of District number 10 and the people of Liberia. I'll be leaving for Lofa County tomorrow.
What are you going for?
I'm going to campaign.
You're not voting.
I'm going to campaign for the CPP candidate.
Okay. I am leaving for Lofa County tomorrow. I'm going to campaign for the CPP candidate. Ms. Theodore, I'm asking you now. You said Yeke Koluba is part of the CPP. So, and Yeke Koluba is saying something that Mr. Cummings said, but it's the opposite. And that is the CPP will not field candidate in Lofa County. So, if Mr. Cummings said that, and we all understand, and you saying that Yeke Koluba is part of the CPP, but we know that the CPP is not feeding any candidate in the election in Lofa County. But Yeke Koluba is saying that they're going to field a CPP candidate. How do we provide clarity to that? Don't we supposed to be asking Mr. Cummings? Because Yeke Koluba is a member of the CPP, right? Boka is not part of the CPP. He left after going to court. And every baby in Liberia knows that. But here is Mr. Yeke Koluba coming with such a statement. I want clarity from Mr. Cummings. Because Yeke can be saying one thing and Cummings be saying another thing. Kind of remind me of the same thing CCC is doing. We cannot have mixed information. If this man is part of the CPP, unless he's mentally ill, and that one there will be no issue with that. As long as he's mentally ill, everybody know that he got mental issue. Whatever he says will not care. But there is no medical record that says something wrong with him mentally. And when you say and others support you and say he's part of the CPP and he's making the kind of comment, that kind of it's very scary. All right, Mr. Cummings is not a dictator. Let me see. Let's see here. No, I don't know what I said or not. No. All right. He cannot control what Yeke say. Oh, yeah. Says to you like you turn anything around here tonight. You turn anything around here tonight. Why it is true that Mr. Cummings cannot control what Yeke say, Mr. Cummings can come out and denounce or agree with Mr. Yeke Koluba. Don't make that justification there, say to you, because that's the same thing that we are doing today. That's the same thing they're doing. Whatever Nathan Magi say over there, sedition will start to say that not Joe we are saying. And you're the ANC people, you will not agree to that. Whatever two are doing over there, sedition will say that not just we are saying. We can't say that. I think Mr. Cummings need to come out and tell the Liberian people that what Yeke is saying, it is not what the ANC / the CPP stand for. Don't you think it's fair to say that, Mr. Yoda? Or Mrs. Theodore Gibson? Let's be honest here. On my show, when I come here, I try to be very honest with things. All I'm asking here is, I want, because how can Mr. Yeke Koluba be part of an institution and he goes out there and start to misrepresent the institution. Everyone all that live in America here, we live on the country rules, right? But we cannot have somebody going out there and committing crime or whatever the person does, the person committed. Yes, if the person does that, then of course the law will hold that person accountable because it's not the behavior of everyone in America here. If Yeke Koluba belong to the ANC / the CPP of Mr. Cummings and say we're going to feed candidate in Lofa County and nobody want to give clarity on that, no, that's not fair to the Liberian people. That is not fair. I'm going to ask question on Monday in Liberia. I'm going to send it in to my man Daniel to ask question in Liberia Monday morning. I need the Liberian people to know what's going on. Because this is not fair. This is not fair to the Liberian people, to be honest. And I mean, ANC people can hit me all they want. I'm in the thing with my heart and soul. I want to hear from Mr. Cummings. If Mr. Cummings can come out and say, look, what I said on the 9th of June, that ANC will not feed any candidate in Lofa. Whatever Yeke Koluba is saying is not the same of the ANC. I'm done. No more argument. That way I will know that Yeke Koluba is saying things by himself because the head of the ANC / the CPP, Mr. Cummings, has denounced that thing. So Yeke Koluba is on his own. But if you come to want to justify that Yeke Koluba, whatever he say, is not the same of Mr. Cummings, but Mr. Cummings not speaking, then that means something is not right. And the Liberian people need to know. The transparency of the election must be clear all over. It got to be clear all over. It must be clear all over. I hope my sister Agnes or Sis Agnes say Yeke should not be supporting Unity Party Kennedy. He is an ANC and part of CPP. Exactly, Sis Agnes. So what needs to be done? It needs to be said because in the end, let me be honest with you guys. In the end, the Liberian people will end up putting George Weah back. Because if Cummings doesn't come out to say anything against Yeke, it can be used against Cummings. Trust me. And it will hold. It will hold. It will hold. Because they will say everything that went to the court, it was just a charade to lie on the people, to lie on the government. Because here is Boka who took Cummings to court, and now they're putting things together. It will not be a good thing for Cummings. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry to say this. I'm not going to talk about anything here again. I'm just going to close on the other topic again. Everything that I brought, because I cannot even bring Akara's gray here to can't discuss about Akara's gray here right now. Because he can just say, look at Randy, you don't know what he's talking about. Randy, you don't know. You know, sometimes when people talk to me from Liberia, they tell me, say, Randy, you don't know what's going on. We know, and listen to us, let's tell you the truth. But only Cummings can be the one to break this thing then. Only Cummings can be the one to break it. If I were in Cummings' situation and came out, because Cummings said it, I can look for that audio right now and bring it here. Cummings said, we are not going to field any candidate. The CPP will participate in the election, but we will not field any candidate in what? In the local election. So a guy like Yeke Koluba coming out and making the kind of statement, it's not right. So Madam Tiola, let's listen again, all right? Now that you catch up in fact, let me allow it to play for a while so you can hear the conversation. Let's go over again.
So for us to clarify, at least
Okay.
we got something. But those are the summary of. I'm not reading any editorial today because this editorial is not what they call the body in the street say is not on point. None of the editorials, so they want to say offer stop politicizing our education. I read this one yesterday from the front page newspaper that said the politics of bread and butter and survival of the fittest, which is similarly being practiced in Liberia, must be jettisoned. So I don't have any new editorial to read today. So, but I've invited Honorable Yeke Koluba of District Number 10, Monserrado County. He's been making all this noise, and I call it noise because sometimes he would talk first, does not necessarily mean to be truthful. He's in the house. The report is out in the street. The Honorable the House of Representatives, their approval for the use of the wrong form is making noise. Is it because Yeke wants to be Pontius Pilate, or they ain't get to a number yet? We have invited him to throw light on that. What the noise is all about. Good morning, my
It's a pleasure being here this morning again on your show. I want to say good morning to the people of District number 10 and the people of Liberia. I'll be leaving for Lofa County tomorrow.
What you going for?
I'm going to
You're
campaign.
not voting.
I'm going to campaign for the CPP candidate.
What CPP candidate?
The CPP candidate.
Those CPP candidates, they didn't take seats.
As far as
You're
I'm
wasting your
concerned,
time.
there
If you
is
want to
CPP.
go home and see your old people.
As far as-
There's nothing called CDC, CPP in Lofa. There's none.
As far as I'm concerned, there is CPP. Look, this is something that the Liberian people got interest in. How can Liberia be liberated? Liberia can be liberated through the CPP. And CPP, there will be CPP, and there is CPP.
CPP is broken.
Honorable Jidate, I'm from the ANC. I'm going to Lofa County to campaign for the CPP candidate.
But there's none there, Yeke. There's none.
Now, what you think?
That's what it is.
No, that's how
There
it
is none.
Look.
You got Unity Party that walk out of the CPP. Unity Party walk out of the CPP. Maybe you are sleeping. They walk out of the CPP. RJMB, my old man.
Very good. So can I come in now? Look, have you seen the man and his wife go to the court and Davos and later come back together? Can I make reference? Can I just make reference? Can I set an example? Let's take for example, when our president was playing football, he had all the 80s, the 100 millions. When he got very broke, it was alleged like club where Davos him. When Lebron,
You can't prove it.
look, when Lebron gave him the authority, he said, "Your thank you, yeah." Well, when Claudia came back, they married again. So the same can happen to the CPP. Nobody had died in the process. When we reach a point where, God forbid, the CPP will have to split and go apart, we will have an understanding where Ambassador Boakai will not discuss Ambassador Cummins, Ambassador Cummins will not discuss Ambassador Ure, Ambassador Ure will not discuss our sister-in-law, Yombli Kanga. You know why we will do that? It's because there will be second round. What can we do in the second round? Let's take, for example, Tima here, you're causing Zankume Hodi. Then Joseph Waka go for second round, and you from the Unity Party. How do you convince the ANC people? Will you have the face to go to them? So we have to get to an understanding. I'm saying, God forbid, I know there is CPP that I'm going to Lofa for. I'm going to Lofa for 1 week. And those guys are in Lofa that carry the Lebronpo ATM machine there. When I get there, they will run. I'm going there for 1 week.
You're going to chase them?
Hey, man, my presence in Lofa County, they will run. Look, when I get in Lofa, it will be live. It will be live. So, Honorable Tirata, you talk about this road fund issue. Let me be very frank. I wrote a communication to...
All right. So the second part is that kind of important, but let me just stay with what I am looking at here. I'm going to be very upfront with the ANC people. I don't think Mr. Cummings is trying to win an election in Liberia. I must be honest with you guys. I don't think so. Because what Mr. Cummings demonstrated to the Liberian people, that Mr. Barker, who is a very untrusted individual, from what Yeke Koluba is saying, that there is a possibility that they will connect. My question here is, so then why Mr. Cummings didn't just accept what Barker was saying, that he fingered a document? If this was in the back of their mind, to say, yes, I did it, let's stay in the party together. You see, we can't keep fooling the Liberian people all the time. We can't keep doing that. If Mr. Cummings knows that he cannot win an election with all Barker's support, or Barker knows he cannot win the election with all Cummings support, then Cummings should comply to everything that Barker wanted. Because what Cummings is doing, what Yeke Koluba is doing right now, it is sending a wrong message, and that will reactivate sedition to go out there and campaign for we are. Because the message will be, they just lying to you. They are not coming to change anything. They are not coming to change anything. They are not coming to change anything. I think the only thing that Cummings need to do is for Cummings to come out here. And, I see my sister Toyota, she said something here. Let me see here. She said here, what she wrote here. All right. There's one interesting comment she made here. I want to read that here. Let me see where I can catch it here. All right. All right. So I'll put it on the screen here. All right. I'll put it on the screen here for everybody to see here. So yeah, what my sister is saying here, if he's asked about it, he will address it. But if he is going to come out and just no, he's not going. I'm not saying you can't attack. Sister Yoda, to be honest with you, if you become advisor to Cummings, you will be there in Nathaniel McGill. Across my heart. Let me get my Bible and kiss my Bible. This is my Bible here, Sister Yoda. I'm going to kiss the Bible here. And I'm going to say this. If you become advisor to Cummings, you will be there in Nathaniel McGill. I will not lie to you, my sister. I've been in it here since 2010. I see the way people make statements. It's no different. If you become advisor to Cummings, you will be there in Nathaniel McGill and Fina Bono them. You trying to tell me that if it's a preconditioned word, it's a word that has condition. I don't need condition. Cummings came without any condition and said the ANC CPP will not field any candidate in the election. We heard that. Now, Yaka Koluba on the 21st of June, came out and said, I am going to support a candidate. And then you want to put if. So that means if Cummings become president, when this happens, when Cummings is not asked, he will not answer the question here. This is totally wrong. This is totally wrong. Cummings said something on the 9th. Yeke Koluba, you guys are saying his party, the CPP. He's saying things that Cummings is not saying, and you don't find anything in it. So what if McGill, McGill, Toy, come on and say, look, what we're doing here, if we are not going to say anything, it's us. You guys know you will not like that. You know you will not like that. Jefferson Koji not doing nothing. Oh, the president should do this one here. Oh, the president. You see, some ANC people are the problem. Some ANC people are the problem. I'm not saying you or Taylor, but I'm only you see the statement you're making and saying some ANC people will not be coming to win election in Liberia. I can be honest with you guys with that. I'm very, very honest because you know what? I am in this thing with my heart and soul. Some ANC people will cause coming to lose the election here. This particular video here, I already got it. It can be used as an anti-Cummings to not be president in Liberia. Because if what you guys are saying is true, I'm going to hold that temporarily because I'm going to be expecting Cummings. And I think I agree with Sis Egne to say that Cummings needs to say something. Because if Yeka Koluba is coming and saying things, and some of you guys say, oh, if he's asked, oh, so then, McGill, yes, whatever you do out there, if George Weah is asked, he will answer. And guess what? Nobody's going to ask George Weah, right? So McGill will keep doing what he does best. George will keep doing what he does best. And they're going to remain like that. How can we say we want to right the wrong, but we're not even willing to accept the truth? Now you see why I don't go to church. This is so wrong. This is so wrong. This guy is sending misinformation to the Liberian people. And you're seeing if Cummings is asked before Cummings should respond, I rest my case. I rest my case. I definitely rest my case. It's not going to change nothing. That is why, guys, by B5, that is why I keep telling you, only by 2065, the whole Liberia will become a better country. Only by 2065. I don't think from what I'm seeing tonight, Cummings going to change anything. I doubt it. Cummings not going to change anything. I doubt it. Because the people around Cummings, they're not helping the country. They just want for we have to move so they can go get their own. Because from what I'm seeing right now, there is nothing like accountability. There is nothing like accountability. You see, the role of elected or an elected official. The role and responsibility of an elected official. One of the roles involve you identifying the need and wants of the community and be able to put a plan together that will help sustain the future of that country. Everyone saying we are is doing the worst thing. But from little things that are happening now, we cannot find. So how will you feel? Okay, so let me give the example here, right? So my sister Tila, I'm not here to pick on you, but let me give the example. Somebody took your credit card, all right? Somebody takes your credit card and go out there and just start using your credit card. And then somebody tells them, but maybe says to you that the person here just, I mean, all the bill that come here is they just using your credit card. And then you tell the person, then maybe somebody that close to you say, look, I know what you're seeing about somebody using says to your credit card, right? But if nobody asks you, why bother? What will you do, Sister Yoda? Somebody using your credit card or any information of yours, and they're using it. And then when somebody come to discuss it, say, oh, don't worry, man. Sister Yoda, if you don't ask her, she will not respond. You know you will not do that. And that's similar in comparison. Yeke Koluba is saying that it's a CPP candidate. But Comey said there is no CPP candidate in the election. So does that mean that Comey is lying now? If the answer is no, then why Comey cannot come out? Because when you say if he's asked, that means when Comey is silent, what Liberia men say. When I remember growing up in Liberia, silent means concern. But the American man says silent means consent. That means he agreed. So if you guys, some of you guys are saying that if Comey is out, he will answer. But should he be asked when somebody is out there contradicting what he said? That the CPP will not feed Kennedy, and somebody out there, and that person is not only out there, but the person is part of the party, and he going out there and sending that mixed signal. Then does that mean that Cummings can also lie too? Let's be real here. Like I always tell you guys, I'm not in the Liberian politics here because I got an interesting job. No. That the mistake that CDC made, they didn't read my fine print. And I'm in the middle here now, but I got to challenge every political candidate. Does that mean that Cummings lied to us when he said there will be no CPP candidate in Lofa County? Now, Yeke Koluba is coming up and saying that he's going to support a CPP candidate. So does that mean that Cummings actually fingered the document? Does that mean that Cummings can lie? Does that mean Cummings lying? Let me ask the very hard question here now. Because the fire is, this guy is in the party. He's carrying misinformation out there. But Cummings did not say that. So why can't Cummings come out and say, I didn't say that? Because when people say Cummings fingered the document, there were many times that Cummings said, I did not finger no document. So let's take that same Cummings spirit and let Cummings come out and say, you know what? Why Yeke Koluba is saying, I didn't say that. We have no candidate. Yeke Koluba is speaking of his own. Why can't we say those things? I gotta go, guys. I gotta go. Liberia is doomed, man. Liberia is doomed. Liberia is doomed. I'm not being selective. I'm just being precise with information. I'm not being selective. The same thing that Magiden doing, that's the same thing some of you guys trying to justify here. And let nobody blame Joshua. Going forward, if Comey does not respond to what is happening here, anytime ANC people come against Joshua, I will come free to defend Joshua. Because it's not changing anything. It's like you're drinking in the day and Joshua drinking in the night. There is no way to differentiate the behavior. There's no way. It's not right. This is not right. All right. So which change are we looking for? If they are appointing our President Weah, then no need to remove him. I couldn't agree with you more, Yango. I couldn't agree with you more. This man, Yeke Koluba, is making different statements. He's making different statements that Cummings does not subscribe to. Tonight, when I get off here, I'm going to put that Yeke Koluba statement together. I'm going to put a comment statement together. I'm going to frame both of them. Or I'm going to put both of them together. Welcome will say we're not feeding no candidate, and Yeke Koluba will say we're feeding CPP candidate. And I'll put it out there. And let's see how that Brempo going to judge Cummings and his behavior. Cummings needs to come out to say something. He needs to come out. Because he cannot keep using Yeke Koluba, because there's going to be a lot of assumption out there. There will be a lot of assumption out there, ladies and gentlemen. If Cummings will win, let Cummings win on a transparent basis. We can't keep doing the same thing over and over. We're not going to get different results. That is Cummings' jargon. That is Cummings saying. So why are you guys not saying, Randy, yes, I think Cummings need to say something? Why? So when Cummings become president, when somebody town get burned and people cry here will say, oh, when Cummings ready, he will answer it. Then why should we move George Weah from power? I give up. There's no hope for our country, man. There's no hope. There's no hope. Let me see what Mia Johnson said. Not the same at all, but we are all entitled to our opinion. Yes, you're entitled to your opinion, but when your opinion become a critical issue, Mia, it must be addressed. It must be addressed. Yeke Koluba is part of, that's why I asked the question initially. Yeke Koluba was not a member of the ANC/CPP. Whatever comment he made out there, I would care less. And that's why I was asking the question initially. Whether Yeke Koluba is the, so that means ANC does not have one message. Yes, that means that ANC does not have one message. There will be people shooting message here and there. So anybody can be ANC and say, you know what, Cummings not running tomorrow. Somebody can get and say, yes. ANC member can say, yes, Cummings finger the document are true. How you was say that everybody opinion, right? Why is somebody in the ANC come on and say, oh yeah, that you Cummings finger that document? You're an ANC person? Yeah, I'm an ANC person. But I just want to let you know that Cummings finger that document. What we would say that the person's opinion, when the person is high up in the comments party, you know you will not say that. You need to start justifying it, because that's the same thing that we are saying the CDC is doing. That's how election can go back in the hands, because it's better to be with the devil you know than the angel you are not seeing. I think Cummings need to answer this question here. Cummings needs to answer the question. He needs to answer the question here. Let me see what my boy UV say here. He says, "Sis, to that potential controversy, but Yeke's statement could be taken out of context and be used as a tool against him. All right, it's still in time, save time. All right, and that's true. I couldn't agree with you, my brother. You, Villa. That's true, and that's what I'm trying to advocate here for. But I guess there are different people in different parties that look just like McGill, that look just like Tour, and it's not going to change anything. It's not going to change anything. Is Cummings going to unite with Boyka? Then nobody should campaign now. And that's why I'm saying Liberian should be very careful and be about the issue. Should be about the issue. Should be about the issue. Yeke Koluba in the second phase of the program. He's now in the second phase of the interview. Yeke Koluba is asking why Mr. Tour used the road fund. He's asking Mr. Tima Jade that the national legislature should have approved the use of that fund. And he demands clarity, right? That's the second thing and main thing that he came to discuss. So Yeke Koluba is digging for reason why the government took that growth fund. But before he started that, he gave him misinformation about what Cummings said and what he's saying. So who should we look up to now? If I were down there, I was going to ask Yeke Koluba, who told you that CPP got a candidate in there? That would be my question to Yeke Koluba. Who told you that CPP got Kennedy in there? And let's see who name he will call. This is not right, guys. This is not right. Let me see what my sister Agnes say here. Why do you give us so easy? You should give Mr. Cumming chance to answer the question. He is in a program right now. Yes. I mean, I'm not giving us sis Agnes. I'm just giving all on how sometimes we try to justify things. Because the last thing we want to do to Liberian is to put their hope in a situation they're already experiencing. Then it meaning that it is not bringing any hope. It's just going to bring the same frustration again. I think people out here who are outside the fence should be able to give reasonable answer to things. And I'm not happy with how Sis Tiola Gibson answered that question. And I will not lie, I will not shy away because that's how I'm trained in this country. I can look in my boss's face today and tell him the truth. And he knows me for that. I think the best answer from anyone here should be, you know what, Randy? That comment Yeke Koluba is making, it doesn't sit too well with me. But let's get to Cummings, and we'll do everything to get to Cummings and hear what Cummings has to say. Because Mr. Cummings said on June the 9th that we will not feel any candidate. So what he's saying, it probably contradicts what Mr. Cummings said. So we will follow up with what your concerns are. That's how I will answer that question. Liberian people need rescue. The last thing they want is for somebody to mislead them. And then the election could go in a very bad direction. In a very, very bad direction. This election is about trust. The people need someone who will be there for them. They don't want surprises, especially early surprises before the election. They don't want that. The very thing here I'm saying tonight, sedition will catch on the thing starting tomorrow or the weekend. And for me, I'm not going to stop. Today, tomorrow, I'm going to be calling on Mr. Cummings to answer this question here. I'm going to be calling on him. Whether I'm driving or I'm home, until Mr. Cummings can provide justification on this thing, I'm going to be asking him. And if I will walk and ask Mr. Cummings face to face, I will ask him. Because this is not right. He can say something, and then the next day somebody come and say something. I see inconsistent in it. It's not right. We got to be straight up with ourselves. I mean, I don't mean to get on people's skin, but like I always say, I know what our people going through in our country. We sit here, we do things, we have fun with ourselves, but people in our country are suffering. And I don't want that word people suffering to only come from our lips. I want for it to come from our heart. That what we say, we actually mean what we are saying those things. Our children in the country are living good lives. Ourselves, we're living somehow. But the people back home can barely get anything. If a man can take out his penny and show it to somebody because the person is economically poor, which is totally abuse. When we see these things and see a hope in somebody, but we want to justify the mistake. All right, guys, I gotta go. See you guys. I gotta go. My B5, I gotta go, man. I gotta go. Whatever program I hire, we'll talk about that another time. All right, I gotta go. But I look up to Cummings to provide clarity on this thing here. I look up to Cummings to provide clarity. Yeke Koluba cannot take from Cummings. It's not going to be good. So I see you guys, man. I gotta go. We'll be back here tomorrow morning, and we'll be back here with the same thing again. Yes, we'll be back here with the same thing. This is not right. This is not right. We'll be back here with the same thing tomorrow. And let nobody tell me that, oh, Cummings got to do. No. I am expecting Mr. Cummings to come out and provide clarity on what he said on June the 9th and what Yeke Koluba said on June the 21st. Mr. Cummings said that he will not field any candidate in Lofa County. If Yeke Koluba is coming back and saying something like that, then I see a conflict of information dissemination to the public, and that is not fair. Either Mr. Cummings is playing with the Liberian people, or Yeke Koluba is mentally ill and say things. But the only way we can see the difference, Cummings will come out and tell us what he said on the 9th. He stand by it, and what Yeke Koluba is saying, it has nothing to do with that. Case closed. We can go back to normal. But right now, things are not normal right now for me now. Things are not normal. All right? So have yourself a blessed weekend. I see you guys got to go. Yes, I got to go.